You think that fits into that bag now? Well, we'll find out at the end. This is the instructional video on how to set up your brand new Golfzilla. What we've done here so far is we have pulled the Golfzilla out of the bag and stretched it out on the ground. You can see his arms are stretched out to the side, his legs and his tail are down below, and his head's up at the top. The first thing we're going to want to do is to lay out a cord, a 50-foot long rope, and lay it right across Golfzilla's neck. Now, this is going to be for use in the wind, and we'll describe this a little later, but as the Golfzilla stands up, we want to bring that rope up in the air with him. The other thing we have is we have our blower set up behind his left foot where the hose is attached, and we have sandbags attached or laying on the ground ready to go in. We're going to need 3 sandbags. We recommend at least 30 pounds each, up to 60 pounds. And so let's start by putting one sandbag in one of the feet here first. So you'll notice we have a blower here. We also have 4 sandbags. Each sandbag here is a 30-pound bag of sand, and you can use 30, or you can use up to 60-pound bags. We have 4 of them here. We're going to put 1 in each foot and 2 inside the tail. So let's start by putting a sandbag inside the foot so that you can see that. Then we will attach the blower, and then we'll put 1 in the other foot, and then we'll blow it up and then put them in the tail. Behind the foot, on the back side of the foot, is a Velcro flap. Inside that flap is a zipper. Open up the flap all the way. There is a baffle area in here. The sandbag is going to go between the baffle and the zipper. Sometimes if you got somebody to help you, then you can have them do that for you. We just slide that right in and zip it up and close that up. We'll do that on the other side in just a second, but in the meantime, now you know where the bottom is. That flap is on the bottom. Take the top of the hose that comes out the back and stretch it out, and the cord should be on the bottom of the hose. So we'll pull our blower back here. We'll pull it underneath. Pull one side, one loop on each side. Pull this as far up as you can, and then run the loop around it. Make a bow so that it'll be easy to get off at the end. Let's go put another sandbag in, and then we'll turn on the blower. So I'm here again on the second foot. I'm going to pull up the Velcro flap, open up the zipper all the way, load the sandbag in, now at this point I'm going to tell you, we do not want to drag the Golfzilla around by the sandbag or when the sandbags are in the feet. It's okay to move the feet a little bit, but when you do so, you always want to grab it with 2 hands right around the sandbag and kind of lift it all in one piece. Do not grab it by one place and drag it. You'll end up ripping the Golfzilla. So I'll lay that flat again down, and you want to put them just about 4 to 5 feet apart. And now let's turn on the blower and see when the Golfzilla comes up. One more zipper you will want to close up at this time is the one in the tail. We're going to open this up in a minute to put the other sandbags in, But let's get it on its feet first. Now as it goes up, I'm just going to make sure that this rope stays behind his arms so that in case we have a windy day, we can put the rope around his neck to hold him up, hold him against the wind. That's either from behind his neck going forward, or in front of his neck going backward, or across his shoulder going to the side or the other side. So that way, in the wind, we're putting the stress across the whole body rather than on individual D-rings. Do not just tie the rope to a D-ring. That will rip this D-ring right here because that stitch is not strong enough to hold the full wind against the full body of this Golfzilla. So here we are at the head. He's almost inflated. He's going to stand up in just a second. Sometimes you want to make sure that you've got that hose straightened out. Now he is standing up. He's getting ready to stand up here. You can see his heels are really holding down on the ground. I'm going to move this sandbag a little out of the way. And I'm going to help him up now as now that he's inflated. Now I've got him up. I'm kind of pulling back on him because he wants to fall forward now because there's no weight in this tail. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the zipper on the tail. Let's stop. So Golfzilla is now face down on the ground. The sandbags are in the feet. And I've got the rope around the front of the neck. On one side it's here. When I lifted it up, I also lifted up the tail and I put the tail on the wrong side. So we're just going to put the rope on the other side of the tail. So now we'll be able to pull from that rope and pull both of them and pull them up straight up. The next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to put sandbags in his tail. His tail is underneath the ground here. So we're going to unzip this. He's going to deflate a little bit. You can see him going down. And we're going to take this sandbag and just slide it right inside. And just kind of put it up higher than the zipper. And then pull the zipper up as you go. Now we're going to get the other sandbag and if you got a friend, they can hold this for you, but if not, just get that in there and just slide it right in and zip it up. Okay. Now you notice the sandbags are kind of forward in the tail. As we now manipulate it, we're going to put those sandbags a little further back. But the first thing we want to do is got to get him to stand up. He's got to inflate just a little more again. We're going to take our rope. And we're going to pull him up. So, if you got a friend, let them hold the rope for you. If not, just stake the ropes down in the ground. And then you'll need to go in front and lift up on the front of the tail and push the sandbags back over that zipper. Okay, once you get the sandbag back further in the zipper, he still may want to fall forward. Let's let him go here. He does a little bit, so we're going to have to stake him today. Notice the rope is going around the neck. At this point, you may have, because you've moved it around, the blower may not be lined up with a straight hose. You want that hose as straight as you can. That keeps the airflow pressure on the Golfzilla. So just pull him straight out. You can pull it behind if you need to pull the air blower behind. It's okay, but the hose you want as straight as you can get. Okay, I'm going to take one of these ropes from my partner here. He's going to hold on to the other one, and I'm going to take this and just at about waist high, just make a loop and turn that loop and pull it right around the rope. Then I'm going to take a stake and put it about 2 feet beyond that. Just pound this down on the ground. Take that rope behind it there, run it through that loop. Now I can adjust the Golfzilla, the length of it, and I'll just wrap it around, tie it off, just for a second. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now at this point I want to say, we can't see the front of the Golfzilla, but as we pull him back, his mouth is leaning a little higher up in the sky. You want to do that so that the balls, as they come down, have a better chance of getting into the mouth. So let's pull them back just a little bit. About waist high, make a loop. Put it down in the ground. Rope around it. You may want to take that stake and put it a little more angle than I just did. And run that rope right up through the loop. Pull him so he pulls back just a little bit. Tie this rope off. And now you're ready to hit birdie balls. Let's go on the front side and see what he looks like. So you're going to see right now that I've leaned him a little too far back at this point in time. So I'm going to go back from behind and I'm going to let that rope just out a little bit and retie it. You'll see him come forward. And then we'll talk about how you can use the Golfzilla in all the different programs you have. So now he's leaning a little farther forward. You can use the BirdieBall in your junior programs, hitting BirdieBall's chip shots into his mouth. We have one course, Indian Tree Golf Course, where we're at here today. They set the Golfzilla about 150 yards out on the range, and they can chip real golf balls at him. You don't want to drive a golf ball at him from close range, but from a long distance, 150 plus yards, you can do it. Every now and then, if a golf ball catches him going really, really fast, you can put a hole in him. But there's a patch kit, and it's great fun, and will improve your driving range revenue in a big way. Golfzilla is 20 feet tall.